Yo, this is King Earner coming to you guys live and direct. First and foremost, do what? Go follow me at King Earner official page. Make sure you get the honorable Condors Christmas. And we gotta get to the coffee. We ain't going in on no tea. We coming live and direct because at the end of the day, coffee and not tea gives you an understanding that we coming with strictly honorable talk. We ain't doing no gills gossiping. We ain't doing none of that. We're carrying the honor correctly. It's crazy that Papoose and Remyma have this situation going on. It's like a lot of situations that we have seen in the past. Even situations that you've been through where you actually get to tangle up with somebody and love them and say that you guys are going to the end of the world. But somehow, some way, once you have that baby, everything changes. What is going on in the black community? Why are these things happening? Why is there a man and a woman having a disagreement that has such a beautiful baby? Why are these individuals that we saw the perfect princess and prince movie line going so sour? I mean, just a few years ago, over 10, everyone was looking at situations like, damn, I would love to have my situation be like how Papoose is for Remyma. Papoose was kicking the door down. He was going up to every visit, and he made sure that he let the people know, free Remyma. When I seen no one ever saying free Remyma. I seen no one caring about her. I seen individuals that were supposed to be her friends turn their back on her. Yeah, there's a lot that we can go into. But I want to say that they both are wrong. We don't want to get into any type of tea because the tea part of it won't add substance to what I'm doing. We're going to get a coffee part of it. And the coffee part of it is, men, know what you're getting yourself into. Women, know what you're getting yourself into. Because an individual come off like he's ride or die, or because a woman come off like she's ride and die, you never know when any small or big situation happens and everything just collapses. But it seems like in a black community, it collapsed and it comes to the forefront where it's all over social media. And you would think individuals would stand down and say, I'm not trying to look into why this is happening or why that is happening. It usually collapses because you'll find out that our communities has been destroying one another. When I say our communities, I'm talking about man and woman. We find a way to leave one another. We don't never want to be successful in the black community. We want to figure out how we can make it so toxic, whereas though that individual that they're dealing with don't even want to speak to them anymore. They want to figure out a way that they can just avoid each other because of the things they do. Just take a look at what they're doing. I would have to check both of them. Papoose, how are you carrying it in such a manner? You mean to tell me you go out your way to come to social media and put out what the world already know? She don't want you no more. She don't want you no more. What usually happens is the women that go after certain men and they a certain kind of woman, like she was rough around the edges. You was a very intelligent young man who was looking to break through in a rap career with some honorable bars and lyrics that made sense, where her music didn't make sense at all because it only promoted street violence. So you have her being more like a male figure, She's stepping on everything, go to jail for a shooting, but you coming off just like the Brilzard. The way you carried the whole bit, I honored it. But only a woman can ride like that. Men don't have that in them. Men have a certain loyalty that they have They probably individuals that could send the money up on, on time. Make sure things is taken care of with the kids at home. But you was even hitting the business and going far and making sure you done it all the time. It's usually what women do. So when women see a man carrying it so well, some of them actually have mental issues where they want to get treated so bad. And we can look it up and give it all type of book terms, but can't nobody tell me that Remy Ma is happy. Remy Ma is looking for the thug with the Timberlands on to burn her back out, Dilzik her down to the very last compound, and Papoose wasn't interested in that. He wanted to show her that he wanted to be a good man to her, a husband, and he wanted to take care of his child, and he wanted to be a man of honor. She wanted to be a woman of honor in a different fashion. She said, I'm going to come to Philadelphia and I'm going to give me some Dilzik. And she picked the wrong Philadelphian because I don't even know if this Gilzai, this Millsut is from Philadelphia. It's kind of making us look bad because when you see them two going through something, you know the emotional attachment and whatever they're going through. But when you see a Silzucker get mad because someone threw him as a monkey in the middle and comes out and begins to rant and rave online, it shows me we're dealing with pure whorism. Whorism creates within men when they carry it just like a brilzard. And if you look at the Millsut, you'll have understanding that he targeted Remy. He targeted her because he knew what she wanted, and he played that position and that role after shaking that man's hand. How do you shake that man's hand and go carry it with pure dishonor? I don't know. I'm not shaking no man's hand knowing that I feel-zucked this woman and that he's a part of promoting, telling his woman to help me even more. What in the dishonorable Dilzik sucking is that? Well, I'm going to tell you what it is. It's called individuals wanting something someone else has. Probably don't even want Remy, but the name was good. You know what I'm saying? The name got some honor, and he might want her. Who knows? But at the end of the day, we got to learn that what belongs to someone else is not yours. And when I speak, I'm speaking about the reality of knowing that someone don't belong to you. I mean, that's his wife. At the end of the day, no matter how it go down, they got a child together, and maybe 60 years from now, they might go ahead and run around in a haystack. And at the end of the day, this kills it and is running around here looking like a dishonorable creep because he's with someone else's woman, with someone's wife, and quote unquote promoting it in his battle raps and his too tough talks like he's a gangster, as if, he took her from somebody. Well, you took her from somebody who probably didn't want her anymore. And I'm sure she don't want him anymore, because when two people want each other, they'll never, ever, ever go this far. And I beg a differ to a certain extent with that, because you'll find individuals that go far that still want one another. But I think this one is far gone. And me as an observer, I don't really give a filzuck. But I got to tell the youngins across the world, we got to stop with all the fake black love, posting all the social media pics and running around here as if, things is so damn smooth. Turn the camera off and guess what? It's of pure dishonor. No one loves each other for real. Small things happen, and guess what? They don't even want to hug. A lot of the, people in the black community, I think they missing that in their homes. They missing that hug once in a blue moon. That little kiss, that I love you And I just want to give you that assurance that, at the end of the day, I'm willing to go as far as it takes me. But let me ask y'all, how many of us are willing to go as far as it takes us? Some of us are going to find every excuse in the world to wind up getting away from something they created a life with. And I understand the season, but it understands me that every season is not raining and every season is not snowing and it's definitely not pouring. But even on the sunny days, we find a way that we can get away from one another and we can disrupt what they say we had never have, and that's stable homes in a black community. Well, we're going to need more of my grandfather to pop in. We're going to need stepfathers and step-grandfathers and step-uncles and people that claim they love these children to step up, because these children are going to be left in the cold, because at the end of the day, they're not going to have no understanding of why. Especially a family like that, where they got a few coins around and a parent or two can feel as though they can spoil that child with some money or something of that nature. Or spoil that child with a bunch of lies that'll never come forth. And guess what that does? That destroys the child. I know growing up, it hurt so bad for my father to love me and then turn around and tell me he'll see me Friday and he don't see me until 3 Fridays later. Yeah, it hurt. But then you turn around and you look at it and say, was it pain, or was he an individual that just didn't give a filzuck? Maybe it was the pain that my mom was causing him. I don't know. After he caused her pain. So we're getting an understanding that hurt people hurt people. Y'all have heard that from me before. But when do we stop hurting one another? When will we break this cycle of total ignorance? These Yahoodis had their foot on our necks for how many years? How many years with slavery? But yet we done what? Dropped to their religion and hit on our knees and played to a Wilsite man with blue eyes, and we actually follow to the best of our ability of understanding some Krilzak telling us a pure Lilzai. But we made every excuse for it. And we didn't dig that picture up there of that Wilsite man with those blue Il's eyes was a man who was probably in charge of slavery. Because it wasn't the Jesus that Allah sent down. It wasn't the Jesus that everybody is sitting around here and speaking good about. And they went so far to praising him that guess what they done? They figured out a way to make him God. The Wilsite man ain't Gilzide. He's beyond a dishonorable filzuck. And I can't even say he's the devil because we know who the devil is. And when we turn around and look at ourselves because of this trauma of slavery and it going through our families and generations, we begin to embark a curse on ourselves that we didn't even know we had the power to do so. Because we embarked that curse when we post everything. I mean, we too cool, we out, family lit, everybody is we winning. And it's another Prilzik on the other end of that camera. The Prilzik I got the glasses on for because I don't want him looking into my eyes because he could steal my joy. It's called the Shaitan. And he get into the individuals that supposed to be supporting you. Because when they see you talk and they see y'all love one another, they get off and say they full of shills. They don't love one another. You know she was just doing that and he was just doing that and y'all ain't done nothing. But all of a sudden, all this infidelity becomes to be a part of your relationship. So it shows that you honestly need to come away from the social thing of boasting about who you love and how you love them, because don't nobody want to be happy for your love. Everybody wants your love to be what? Destroyed and broken down. And they want you walking around with your head down, miserable 24/7. Single mother and father who is trying to get with an honorable mother and have something good out of life. They don't want you to have any joy. And what gets in them is a jealousy, a form of dishonor that begins to become an evil eye. And that's why we're talking coffee and not tea. This isn't a tea situation. This is all coffee. We talking man talk. Ain't nobody running around here sipping and talking about, ooh, bye, child. No, we're talking man talk. We're talking pure honor. And then guess what? The women can talk this because some of the women drink coffee. If they don't drink coffee, guess what they're drinking? A bunch of tea that's going to lead them in a party of people who don't give a filzuck about them. Because guess what? A lot of the ladies, there's somebody that's jealous because you have a good man. You have a papoose in your life. Yeah, he ain't walking around. He ain't shoot him up, bang, bang, used to be, boy. But guess what? He's doing the right thing by you and yours. But yet you didn't figure out how you can get away from him a little time a week. You happy hour with the job. Next thing you know, you still zucking a dilzik. You trying to figure out how it got all the way down your esophagus. And you're running around here playing a vicious game because at the end of the day, if you a solid woman, you would get a hold of yourself. Just like there's a man somewhere who's looking for a happy hour. He's turning around and he keeps backing up, and every time he's turning her off. No, I'm good, I'm married. Until she put that smell on. And they had that happy hour and they had a couple shots of that dishonorable Don Julio and Neho mixed with the rep. You hear me? And he makes a mistake and he violates and dishonors his wife or his woman. All because of what? It's what you entertain. What you entertain will be a part of your biggest failure. Because it's going to give you a certain emotion that you may not be able to turn off. And you don't know how Jezebel got in your bed. You don't know how that Philzake Luther got in your bed and destroyed your mindset 20, 100,000 million %. That number is something I can't even fathom. And you can't either. But at the end of the day, that's how far it has been. And that's how far it's going to go. So ladies, if you get time, stop being so into everything else except for the one that you plan on spending your life with. Get that other dilzik out of your esophagus, out of your chest, and go to your man and tell him tonight, I love you, and I don't want to end up like Papoose and Remyma. Men, get off your ills ass. Get out of that nilsasty ass Bilzar around that dishonorable still zinc white diamond trill zamp. Yes, she's wearing white diamond, and you think it's an honorable smell. Your dilzum filzuck, that's not nothing of honor. That's pure shilzit smell. Still zinc. Go between a lady, you're going to smell nothing but cottage cheese and dishonorable ill's ass. Get away from her. Go home and be able to get through some things. As long as there's no infidelity. Meaning as though, as long as it's something that doesn't put you in a mindset that's like, this is who this person is dealing with. They're actually leaving home to actually be one with someone else when I have shown and given every filzucking thing I can. This is what we call something that's not a part of what you had. Because even in every God-fearing religion, they say withdraw from who you were birthed with in family, still love them, and create your own. So when you go creating and acting around others and you can't have yours apart, you become the biggest lil zoozer there is. And if you're a lil zoozer, guess what? You deserve your honor snatched. And I'm still snills at you, but guess what? In this instance, I want Papoose and Remyma to stay the filzuck away from each other and never come around each other unless it got something to do with their child, and make sure they have somebody in between, because this is far gone. And whoever they're with now, stick with them, because at the end of the day, that's what's needed. Stick with them. Because guess what? You can get a situation and you love that person, but if it ain't a reality, it's not even a situation. So what you had ain't a reality no more once you let it go. But you can be a delusional ills idiot and keep back and forth, and you become a bigger loser. Because at the end of the day, one out of the two is looking to hurt the other a lot more because of bitterness and emotions. Move on and become a better person. And guess what? Don't bring that trauma in our community. At the end of the day, I'm King Earner from the Honor Your Life campaign. The goal is to restore the honor, but it's also to let the men know we're drinking coffee and never tea. King Earner live and direct.